Retail and hospitality is changing, with often complex and fragmented systems combined with large volumes of customer data for businesses to make sense of. It's critical to work with the right partners in order to guarantee success. At Torquay Consulting, we help retail and hospitality businesses transform their technology, removing overly bloated processes and creating unified and efficient systems of working throughout. So don't just take our word for it. See for yourself. Torquay Consulting, the leaders in technology transformation across retail and hospitality.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the All Things Borough podcast, the official podcast for Farnborough Football Club, and sponsored by Torquay Consulting. I'm Alan, and I'm joined by Simon. Good evening, Simon. I believe you've been away for a couple of days.
Well, away does make it sound very exotic, but it wasn't. It was a work-related journey to Exeter, so yes, which I'll be going back again on Sunday night. So yeah,
Hey, work related.
I was extremely busy. Well, I didn't get finished till 7:30 last night, so I had to frequent the local Burger King for my dinner. It was very nice. So I posted a nice photograph of it. It was very, very good. Onion rings on the side, of course. Happy days.
No. Yeah, but we also discovered that you actually only did about 2 hours work, so that's not really work, is it?
Listen, sitting in a van for 3 hours when you got a guy who only likes classic hip hop was a torturous journey, I could tell you. So
we won't be getting that on Farnborough FC radio, will we?
Not if Mr. Shoveler has anything to do with it. No, no, definitely not. No, I tried with Sam Vender and was it nothing?
You've had a little bit of success, haven't you? Trying to get some different music on.
I'm trying to modernize the world, one person at a time. So my target at the moment is Ben. So we've decided to try that one. So yeah, I've tried him on Sam Vender, Nothing But Thieves, Mumford and Sons. I think I might have mentioned, and George Michael. I think I might have mentioned as well, but he's not having any of it. So not that George Michael's very modern because he's sadly dead. But but there we are. He did write a good song in his time, apparently.
Yeah, I think he wrote quite a few good songs, Simon. But
not as many as Prince, I would say. But Prince is a renowned songwriter. Yes.
Yes. Well, before I let this descend into a music.
Oh, is this not the Farnborough Music podcast?
This is not the Farnborough Music podcast.
Apologies, I'm on the wrong one. I'll dog out. See you later.
Yeah. I'll let you go. See you later.
Bye.
But anyway, thanks everybody for watching and tuning in and watching us on YouTube. We as you can see, we've got Thomas Kelly, the one member of the Torquay Talks podcast. Good evening, Thomas. How are you doing?
Good evening, gents. Very well, thank you. Thanks for having a chat with me this evening. Congratulations on getting over the 100 subscribers. I think last time I was on, you were just on the echelons of getting to 100. So well done.
Yeah, we're about
the century.
Yeah, we're on about 108. I think 108 subscribers so far.
It's going up bit by bit. I think we were at 110 at one point, and then two people realised they'd signed up to the wrong thing. They weren't looking for us at all, so they ducked out. But,
sorry about that. I'll make sure.
That's all right. No worries. I think we're only about 400 subscribers behind you guys now, so we're getting there slowly but surely. It actually is a bit like Farnborough season, to be sure. Slowly but surely, we're going to get enough points to stay up. So just keep the faith, Borough fans. Keep the faith.
Keep the faith and keep turning up. That's the main thing.
There wasn't a reference to a George Michael song either, by the way. I should
have. But look, speaking of podcasts, how is the Torquay Talks podcast doing? Is it still going strong? Are you still enjoying it?
Oh yeah. Like I said in the last episode, I think I had you guys. It's weekly therapy sessions for us, and it's continuing to grow. I think we're at 860 odd subscribers now, so we're definitely trying to get to that magic 1,000. We've did not a live blog as such, but we did like a football blog for when we went to Bath. I don't really like doing those, to be honest, but content's content, and unfortunately the feedback was, we want to see more of these. So
Sorry, I misheard what you said there. I thought you said you had a Bath, but then I realised, Bath, the city as in the football club. My apologies. If you do the 1,000th episode, you're going to do something spectacular, like go to Ibiza or Tenerife or something and do a live podcast from there. That could be quite good.
Oh well, subscribe and get us to 1,000, and you'll find out, Simon, won't you?
Well, I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I thought someone with your contacts in the aircraft industry, you might be able to do a good deal for him. You know what I mean? So it could be a good shout.
Wait and see. Wait and see. Get to 1,000, and then we'll talk.
Oh, I love it, love it.
But what would you say that is the key to your podcast success? And because obviously over 800 subscribers is really, really good, and I'm sure it won't be long before you get to that 1,000 subscribers. So for people like us who are in the lower echelons of three figures, what can you put down your success to?
Well, I think having a really terrible owner of your football club played a big part.
So
Years of
are you
decline.
still talking about Torquay? Have you moved on? Sorry, cut that.
So my mate Sam started the Goals I View podcast, I think it was around 2021, 2022. It was around that era. And obviously our decline has been what it is. We've had a really bad couple of years, administration in early 2024, and we became such a vocal, point for all Torquay supporters and all football supporters. It's not just Torquay that have experienced bad ownership. I mean, you just look up and down the pyramid, it's clear to see in plenty of clubs.
Yeah.
And I think just being not afraid to call it how we see it and always wanting the best for your football club and speaking out when you feel like something's not right. And now you look to the future and you look at now we've got owners who are supporters of the football club, astute businessmen, interact with us and, are happy to come on and have a chat with us every year about the direction of the football club, what their plans are. And I think just being passionate for the cause as well. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're supporting a small football club or a big football club at whatever level. If you're passionate, you'll resonate with other fans. And I mean, it obviously does help that Torquay United are a big name and a big club in this division. And hopefully now we'll start rising where we feel we belong. But I think just from our perspective, it's just keep being as honest and being as open as you can possibly be. And, never be afraid to expect better for your football club. There's, as you guys are experiencing right now, it's quite difficult times for Farnborough at the moment in terms of the league. It's not probably been the season you were expecting, but just got to keep staying loyal, but not be afraid to say it how you feel and represent the fan base as well. I mean, we've all got opinions on, everything about our football clubs, and if we all had the same opinion, then it'd be very boring watching these podcasts, wouldn't it? So, no, just keep engaging with the supporters. You feel like you can be a voice for them, and never be afraid to want best for your football club, because that's what we wanted in 2024. And thankfully, we're one of the lucky ones and have gotten through the other side, and things are looking up.
Yeah, there's definitely something that brings your club together than a bad owner or really bad financial times and things like that. It's just definitely something that everyone could sort of rally round and try and support, and then you find that the things that you do as not even club based, just a podcast that's been brought around by people getting together and using their own time to do things. It really sort of it's like a rallying things. Oh, you know what? I listen to that because I want to get behind, and then people tend to do everything and anything to try to to get involved. And and also the other point that you made about some, get behind your club but you can still have your own opinion. That's what football's about, isn't it? It's about opinions, and not everybody agrees, and that's what makes the world a colourful place sometimes, doesn't it? If everyone agreed, it'd be pretty grey and boring. But I think personally, on that note, I mean, you've obviously had terrible owners in the last sort of 5-6 years. It's been a real struggle. Now through that, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, with Torquay. But I think our ownership's been very good. We've been quite lucky, I think, and some of the fans don't obviously see it that way, but we do. We do as a podcast, and we've got people like Rob and Duncan Saunders, and I'm going to forget a few names now. Obviously, Spencer's involved there as well as being the manager, and he's been there for 12, 13 years. So we've had good success by being stable, but obviously the difference is that we're trying to do it on a much smaller scale. And try and get success that way. Whereas there's clubs like yourself, Torquay, maybe some people might think that you've got maybe football league syndrome, as Mark White would say. But there's a lot of clubs, but there's nothing wrong with that, because you want to be looking higher, and you want to get back in the football league, and you've been there before, and you want to go there again. So whereas Farnborough, we're looking at trying to this season certainly is trying to stay in the division, and then looking up, we're trying to maybe go to a hybrid model in maybe 18 months, 2 years time, and then look to get into the National League. That's all we've got. So we've got targets and ambition as well, but probably on a smaller scale to what you guys would be.
Guess you could say, Thomas, as well, that you can owe you can sort of in a weird way you can owe the success of your podcast to the bad owner as well, because if it wasn't for that, then your podcast may not have been as successful as you are now.
Yeah, someone said that to me in the bar at Boots and Laces. I think it was before the Hampton game. Said, "Oh, yeah, I love the podcast. It's a bit boring now that the old ownerships have gone and we're actually doing all right now." And then someone else said, "Yeah, I've listened to it every week. It's fantastic." So, but again,
Yeah,
opinions. Everyone has a different
yeah,
opinion on things, and yeah,
yeah,
it's not just me though. I mean, not only because we're not only just a podcast. I mean, Talky Talk as a collective. We do all these online things. We put all these articles together. We do our own match updates live from the grounds, and we speak with other fans and do a Q&A with them for the site. So ahead of every match day. So it is a very sort of we do try and tend to try and bring as many people into it as we can. And there's about 20 or 30 of us behind the scenes, that help and make Talky Talk run. And
mm,
Dom, who founded Talky Talk, I mean, he's a passionate bloke for the club, and he's always on my WhatsApp. Oh, can you do this for me this week? And can you do this for me next week? And I'm happy to do it. We don't get a penny for it, but you do it because it's just we've become such a respected outlet, like such to the point now where we're allowed. Clive, who's on the podcast, he does the weekly presses with Paul Watton. He's actually invited in and is able to have a chat with him. We've got a good relationship with Paul. We've spoken to him a couple of times on the podcast, and he's a passionate bloke. And whilst we don't see eye to eye on all things, we do respect him as a manager. And it's a breath of fresh air since he's come into the football club, and he's to get so close last season and now this season where the pressure's on him a bit because last time we had a chat, he was under a bit of pressure from some in the fan base.
yeah,
So moving on, it's been a lot of up and down this season. If you were to say how would I feel out of 10 the season's gone, I'd probably say it'd be about 7 out of 10. My aspirations this season are through the roof. I'm not going to lie about that. I have really high aspirations. It's the title for me this season, but it has to be when you've missed out by a couple of goals last season and being the
yeah,
biggest club in the division. There's a lot of pressure that goes with that, especially when you're attracting 3,000 plus crowds at Playmore every week. I mean, the support this season, I think the attendances are up compared to last season slightly. So that's
yeah.
reassuring because last season we did a lot of community days, I think. So some of the attendance was slightly inflated on that. But to get 3,000 at this level constantly like that, it's incredible because we weren't even getting that in our Football League days.
No, absolutely, yeah. And it's definitely a real sort of feel good factor with the club now, with the new owners and everything else that's happened since those bad few years. There's a real sort of feel good factor at the club now, like I said. And so looking at the table now currently, because obviously, like you said before, when we chatted before, the manager Paul was under a bit of pressure from some of the fans, despite the fact that you were in the playoffs and hanging around like the top spot. And looking at the league table now, you're fourth in the table, 26 games, 47 points. You're only 3 points away from Worthing, who are top. And you've got it looks like looking at it, you've got the second highest goal difference as well in the league. Worthing being the top. So it's not the season's not going terribly, is it? I mean, it's a good season you're having, and look, the chance for getting that top spot and winning the championship is there. It's there for the taking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's going to be another one of these really
Yeah,
tight contested. You look at the top five at the moment, but you have to look down possibly to Maidstone in 10th. I mean, we've just had a massive battle with them at Playmore over the last weekend, and
yeah,
they were really strong. So I don't think you can discredit them either. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be close. And it's going to be a bit like last season. Whoever can find that consistency on a regular basis at the right time is going to
yeah,
win this division. Our home form's good. We've won 10 at home out of 14, two draws, two defeats. But the away form is still cause for slight concern in the fan base. We had a terrible start away from home, really. We've had defeats to Hemel Hempstead. We had defeats to Horsham. Horsham are a really good organised football club just up the road from where I am, and they I'd considered them dark horses for a playoff spot before a ball was kicked. So to see them still doing very well at this stage of the season is testament to everyone there. There's just so many good clubs. I mean, it's going to be a really difficult last 20 games, and whoever can get the best in this mini run of 20 games now is going to win. Is going to win the title. I mean, we've got Worthing coming up away in a couple of weeks on a Tuesday night. I think we played Dorking first weekend in February. Um, yeah, so and we got Hornchurch at the end of the month. So there are some big games coming up. Um, but yeah, the away form, we seem to struggle against teams with low blocks. They seemed to just be able to hold on. We went to Bath just before the new year, had a frustrating 0-0 draw there where we lacked any real clinical activity at the front in the final third. And that's kind of been the story of the season away from home, which sounds ridiculous for a team who have scored the second highest amount of goals. And that is a criticism you do hear in the fan base at Torquay United, don't create enough chances. Well, the stats would say otherwise because we're the second highest goal scorers. In terms of teams who I think are the best that I've seen us play against, I mean, Worthing, I think we say it year on year, they're such a well-run, well-drilled football club and play some beautiful stuff. And, they went 2-0 up against us at Playmore earlier in the season and looked like they were going to turn us over, but we dug deep and turned it around and we actually got the victory, a 3-2 win at Playmore. And I think that was their only defeat in that run since Alan Hinchelwood came back. So, when we're on it, we're up there and we're one of the better teams. But it's just finding that consistency away from home, being able to turn some draw positions into wins and to not throw away games. I mean, we threw away the Horsham result earlier in the season, but
But no,
it's
you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot. Obviously, you've seen a lot of games this season, home and away. Looking at the away table now for the league, and it is showing that you are 15th in the table as in for away games, 15 away games, and only 15 points gained from them, which isn't great when you look at the teams that are above you in this away form. You've got teams like Cheshire United who are seventh with 19 points away in 14 games. Um, and Dover Athletic, 18 points from 13 games. So what is it you think that not that you want to try and tell Paul and the team what to do, but what is it you think that they're lacking or missing away from home? Is it? I know you said they tend to struggle a little bit with teams that play with a low block. A lot of teams do struggle with teams that play with a low block. But what is it that they? Is it just you just got to constantly knock on that door with chance after chance of chance, and then hopefully something will happen, and then that will
yeah,
kickstart the run.
this is
But
where I'm
that's
going
where
to
the run's
sound.
got to come from. It's got to start from their waveform, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this is where I'm going to sound really arrogant, and I'm sorry, but when you're playing Torquay United at your home ground, that's a big game for a
Yeah,
lot of teams in
yeah,
this
absolutely.
division, and I think a lot of the opposition teams do step up against us. I just don't think we start very well in games. I feel like we're on the back foot early on, and I think we give a bit too much respect to the opposition, and
Mm.
we seem to have a habit of conceding the first goal, and when you do that on a consistent basis, it's difficult to pick up wins in that situation. We won five on the trot in November, which I think included a victory at Maidenhead and a victory at Chelmsford, who, I know they're not really setting the division alight this season, but that, especially the Chelmsford result, was quite a statement win, I thought, because our record there is terrible, and they've invested a lot of money this season, a lot of money, and I think they're definitely underachieving this season, but they're still a threat, and it's just getting
Yeah,
on the front foot and scoring first. If we can start scoring first in a lot of these games, then we're going to have a better opportunity. That's what we do. We try to do it playing more. That's why we've won a lot of games. But even at home, we have conceded first on a couple of occasions. Most of the times, we're able to turn it around and turn it into victories. But we've had the odd result. I mean, Tunbridge came to play more, ended our five-winning run, and they picked us off with two quick goals and held on for the rest of the
yeah,
game. So, as title contenders, and we've had this discussion on the podcast before, is our Torquay United genuine title contenders this season? We On our route to second place last season, we lost 7 games in total last season. Well, if you look at the table at the moment, we have lost 7 games already, and we're not even at the end of January. So
yeah,
there's little margin in my mind now if we are to be genuine contenders that we can afford to lose any more games. Maybe one
anymore.
or two. I think that the mean is about 7 to 9 games in recent histories with teams who have won this division. So certainly, if we can find a way against the lesser teams to break through and score a couple more goals, then hopefully we can push on, and the home form should speak for itself. But it's going to be tight. There are so many good teams, well-run teams, even those further down the division. So Enfield
Yeah, I
tomorrow, I
mean,
know they're not in great form. We record this on the Friday, of course, but they're going to make it difficult, and it's up to us to break them down.
yeah, I mean, like again, just looking at the home form, you're top of the home form table, but only just by 1 point. You're on 32 points. Whereas you've got Western-super-Mare, Dorking below you with 31 points, and then Worthing, Hemel, Hornchurch, Totton that are pulling up behind you. So yeah, obviously, like you've got that big advantage of your ground with, like you said, over 3,000 fans, most of whom will be Torquay United fans. So they've got that pull. How many fans travel when on away games, really?
Ooh, well, I would say, well, you could be looking at anywhere minimum of 300 for the
Yeah,
London ones, probably
that's pretty
more.
good. That's pretty
Bath, when we
good.
went to Bath just before the new year, and that was on Dazin, but we had over 1,000 there up the road
Wow.
for Bath. We'll never know what we were going to take to Dover because they called it off with an early pitch inspection at 12 o'clock, which was quite frankly ridiculous.
Early
Yeah,
pitch inspection at 12.
and then the following week they did a 9 a.m. pitch inspection for Hemel Hempstead. So, it is what it is. But the away support's been phenomenal this season. I think a lot of the time we've gone to grounds and had half the crowd. It wouldn't surprise me. So a lot of time we
Yeah.
get segregated and we never find out what the actual away figure is. But
Mm.
I mean, the support since the takeover. Well, I say since the takeover, even before the takeover. Considering how rubbish we were and we're fighting a relegation scrap. I mean, the fans turn up week in, week out, put their hard-earned money into it. I mean, it's not cheap following Torquay United. We've got the highest tickets in the division at home, and we rack up the miles away from home. I think our local game is Western, so they only bought a couple of hundred, I think, down for Boxing Day. So it's just incredible the support that we do get. I expect for Enfield tomorrow, if it is on, we'll probably get 250, 300. There's a lot of exile goals who have moved away into London who follow the team. So, the one thing, the Farnborough, I think when we went to you guys, I think there was a good couple of hundred there for a Wednesday
Yeah,
Yeah,
night
yeah.
I was just going to say
fixture.
that we had 758 for a Wednesday night game, which for us is very good for a midweek. And there was definitely a good couple of hundred of you guys there. So yeah, it was a good. It was good. I'll try not to mention that game ever again because it was over after 10 minutes. But yeah, at least we did score one at least. Yeah, it was a good game. I also on the crowds. I still remember going back to the beginning of last season when we played in our first home game was you guys, and yeah, we had sort of was it
It was
well,
over 1,000, wasn't it?
well over. I think it was like 1,500
Yeah.
for that one, which was really good. And also, you guys took a load of support. You had at least 500-600, so which was really good. So yeah, it was yeah, it's very very good. Yeah, you definitely. Well, I think for me, you're the best supported side in our division. Well, but as you say, going back to your point you made about the league being very tight, I'm actually quite amazed at that stat you came up with at 7 defeats, and that was all you lost last season. It does sort of has alarm bells ringing in my head, doesn't it? But I do also think to caveat that the league is definitely stronger and more competitive at the top this season. And my sort of feelings on it at the start of the season before a ball was kicked was that the team will win the league or get in the playoffs. So they're the teams that beat the teams around them. So the better if they beat the better teams, you'll end up in the playoffs. So you could sort of almost negate losing the odd game like your Tonbridge game because all the teams are going to lose the odd one like that. They're all going to do it. I mean, I think, and also the point you made about underachieving sides. I think probably I'd probably have to include us in that. Farnborough, we've definitely underachieved a little more this season. But also probably looking at Eastbourne probably and Dagenham and Redbridge. They've for me they've probably been the two biggest underachievers so far this season. I mean, you look at Dagenham, they're probably mid-table, but with their budget, and you've got people like Andy Carroll playing for them, and they must
Yeah,
be
I have to
expected to be
say
up.
when Dagenham were relegated, I thought, oh, that's just the last team you want to come down
Yeah,
here because they'll be strong, they'll put money towards it. But
absolutely.
for one reason or another, it's just not happened. I mean,
Yeah,
we drew 0-0 with them at Playmore earlier in the season, and I didn't think they were anything special, but we just couldn't find a way to break them down on that day.
We drew
I
with them
think
at
the
their place as
contrast
well, to be
between,
fair, 0-0.
Yeah, we feel with them. Yeah,
but I think this season, I think you'll see there is a contrast between teams at the top and teams at the bottom. Naturally, of course, because that's how football table runs over a season. We had Hampton a couple of weekends ago come and yeah, they went a goal ahead, but we were able to break them down with 4 quality goals. I mean, it was like a goal of the month competition watching that. And God
Yeah.
bless the 19 Hampton fans that came down as well. I know a couple who came down as well, and I hope they stay up because they are a very nice football club.
I was just going
I
to say
think,
that they're well known for being a really good, really
but
nice club and good people.
the reality is they are a village football club
Mm.
playing in a league now, which you would say 75% of it is either hybrid or playing against professional football clubs. And you could
yeah,
argue maybe they've overachieved to an extent. And, Eastbourne have suffered, they were abysmal against us. I mean, I met Barry, who does the Down the Lane podcast, which, if you haven't had a look at that, it's really good. Another great little National League South podcast that's growing. And I met him before the game, and he walked out half time, and they were really, really bad. They lost 7-0 against us, and honestly, that was the least we deserved. It would have been 10-0. I think that probably would have been a fairer reflection on the game. But
Oh,
then we had
you're a
Maidstone.
harsh man, Thomas, harsh man.
I try. And then we had Maidstone last week, and that was a proper physical clash. 3 red cards. Not that I think any of them were, but I digress. It was a proper battle, but we've got a terrible record against Maidstone. I think we've won once in about 16, 17 games, and it's all about the mentality. If it does go
Yeah,
to playoffs and we have to play them in the playoffs, they know
yeah,
that they can beat us, and we struggle to beat them. So
yeah.
again, if you look at the top 7, we've beaten Worthing, we lost to Hornchurch, we beat Western, lost to Dorking, lost to Hemel, and lost to Horsham, and that's okay, we've got Worthing, we've got to go to Worthing, we've got to go to Hornchurch, we've got to go to Western, and then we've got Dorking at home, Hemel at home, and Horsham at home to come. So again, can Torquay United against the top 3 at the moment go away from home and win? I've got all the confidence that we can,
that's it.
but
It's a tall ask, isn't
asking a
it?
lot
It's
when
a
you look at
tall
the
ask.
facts.
Yeah, it is a tall ask, isn't it?
Yeah, although Hornchurch, everyone's having a bit of a bad spell at the moment. Worthing have had a little bit of a fall off. Hornchurch are certainly having a bit of a fall off. Western, they've got games to play, haven't they? Because they were in the FA Cup and did well. Dorking seems to be on a bit of a revival, but again, their away form's not been particularly great, and you wonder whether Hemel and
You know what,
Horsham.
Thomas, I was just words out of my mouth. I was going to mention Dorking because they've obviously now announced a few players being retained for next season on sort of longer term contracts. Like Brennan Camps just announced he's signed a 3-year deal, which is quite something at this level. I think I think it's unheard of. I don't think anyone signed a 3-year deal ever in this league until
No,
today.
not really.
But they have got. I listened to Mark's update for his weekly update on their TV station, and they've got a lot of injuries and they've had that problem the whole season. But they've signed quality and they've got McShane up front with Casey as well, and Alfie Rutherford's coming back to
Yeah,
fitness. Denon Lewis is the other one that signed a contract. He signed a 2-year deal.
and that's what's happened to us this season as well. At the start of the season, we had a huge abundance of injuries to such quality players. I mean, Cody Cook has been out for a long time, but thankfully he's come back and he's almost at full fitness. Sorry to say, from a Farnborough perspective, for next week. Nash Sandaya, who's came in from Tamworth, had a couple of games and had a really bad cruciate ligament injury. He was on the bench for the first time on Saturday, which it was great to see because he's such a great guy.
It's great to know you're bringing the big guns back out for the borough. It's good to know.
Well, we need to get that goal difference up, Simon. I mean, we've got 9 goals, I think, to catch up to Worthing.
Right.
So
Mute him, Alan. Mute him.
But, I mean, like this weekend,
I'm not hopeful of a result, I have to say. To put it mildly.
we're missing Louis Dennis and Jordan Young for a couple of games because they both got sent off. So Dennis is out for 3. Jordan's only out for Enfield this weekend, so should be back for Tuesday night. We've got the squad is so much better than what we've had last season, but we've just been so unfortunate with injuries this season, and I think that has attested to the sort of form that we've had at the start of the season.
Yeah,
but
I think we've had the same issues, really, Tom, because we've had a lot of injury problems, like mainly in the same positions. Unfortunately, it seems to be goalkeepers have now become a problem. As you know, as everyone knows, the goalkeeper we signed on loan from Reading lasted half a game. and which is
Well, he played. Well, he played the whole game.
yeah,
He was
well,
done by
sort of
half
did.
time, but he played the whole game.
He couldn't kick the ball though for the second half. He had to keep throwing
No.
it out. But fortunately, I don't think the opposition actually got wind of it until right at the end. I don't think they knew what was going on. I didn't either because I was chatting for most of it. So I didn't even know he got injured. Yeah, that's a bit of a nightmare. We've got well, I know Robbo's struggling a bit with injuries as well, and we've got so we have had problems forwards as well. It's probably all goes back to last season. We had trouble with centre forwards as well. We had Pemi lasted 5 minutes and then he went off. Then he scored 15 goals for Eastbourne this season before he got recalled by Peterborough. So every Farmer fan thinks what could have been, but then we had obviously Johnny Stuttle came in on the back of that, and he was really what he did brilliantly. And then obviously he's himself injured when he was on loan this season. So it's just been it's every club has them. I mean, I think probably the worst affected is probably Dorking. I think they've had a shocker, and they've got Pybus is out. He's broke his toe, and it's facing the wrong way. So I mean, he's got
They had that last
surgery
season as
out.
well, didn't they? They
They
had so
did,
many at the start, and you could probably argue,
yeah,
had they not had those injuries, they probably would have won the league.
yeah. I mean,
But
Mark White say that all the time.
they had a bigger squad. They had a bigger squad last season as well, and then this
Yeah.
season he's made the purpose decision to trim the squad for this season.
Yeah.
In
Well,
order
you
to
know
sort
what,
of
Al?
cut
I think
costs.
it
But
was
the
trimmed,
injuries are
but
still piled up.
it was trimmed. But I think the issue is he's had to bring players in now, hasn't he? He's got
Yeah,
two on loan.
yeah.
He's had two or three on loan.
And I think we've established that at Torquay as well. I think we've gone for quality this season over quantity, which is fine,
Yeah,
unless you have an injury crisis or 10 in your
Exactly.
squad, which is what we've had
yeah.
for the majority. I mean, Callum Dolan's just come back from injury and he's out for the rest of the season, which is
Yeah.
just he's such a great player, in that midfield role. Um, he's had football league experience, and it's just a shame because it's kind of followed him his whole career, sadly. But in that regard, that's kind of the risk you take on some players, those who haven't had the best run. Maybe that's why they are playing at our level to try and re-establish themselves. And
Well,
unfortunately,
yeah, you say that's a good point now because it's what we end up. Well, I don't know, end up. It's the wrong terminology. What we thrive our kind of signings upon. We end up with players who have got checkered injury histories, like Louis Lamas, who's just sadly departed the club just this week, and he's actually signed for Hemel today and officially. He's got a long-standing hip problem, and he was out injured for a long time. So we do tend to get players like that who've got injury records. They wouldn't sign for us otherwise, So it's Joe Haig was another one who got injured and he wasn't playing, and he was a bit out of favour at all the clubs he seemed to go to. We got him in, and he's revived his career. But they do tend to come down to us because we know we're a good outfit, and we do give young players chances, which is what they want. So. Just onto the game on Tuesday. I know we talked quite generally about the league and so far on Tuesday. Obviously, Borough fans coming down to Torquay. If they've not been before, what can they expect at Plainmoor? It's one of the nicest stadiums in the league. Obviously, second to Cherrywood Road, of course. But what can they expect from the ground? Ticket pricing and if you're getting the train like me, then where's the nearest train station, etc.
well, you're going to experience a lovely, well, I sad to say ex-Football League ground, but hopefully one in the future where it'll be back in the Football League. You'll get a very warm welcome from the Yellow Army. I know I expect Farnborough won't be sending many minibuses down full of fans for a Tuesday night, but
Well, sadly, Tom, we did have two minibuses. We now only have one, so that is half the numbers already. Sadly,
after them,
yes.
you've got a lovely bar just around the corner connected to the club, Boots and Laces, which allows away fans in, so you'll always get a warm welcome there. Ticket prices, I mean, as I've mentioned, they are on the pricier side. I think it's about £20. I think we could possibly be 22. I'd have to double check. It's been a while since I've checked the seating. But Playmore under the lights. There's just something beautiful about playing at Playmore and watching football at Playmore on a Tuesday night. I'm sure the Yellow Army will turn up in force. If you are going by train, be prepared to walk. You're probably better off getting a taxi. Quite a few hills between the railway station and Plainmoor. Don't go all the way down to Torquay. Get off at Tor, just the station before. It is the closer of the two stations. I think it's 25-minute walk compared to a 40-minute walk, and it is majority uphill. So bear that in mind. Might want to get a taxi, share a taxi, and come up. But no,
weaklings, Thomas, weaklings. I'll get my hiking boots on and I'm off, mate. You know what I mean?
I have done that. I have done that walk before, and trust me, I don't think my quads have recovered ever since. That it was, yeah. But it's a beautiful area, Torquay. So if you are down in town beforehand and have the luxury to have a couple of hours, I mean, hopefully the weather's not too bad because it's not been great recently. But when the
Yeah,
weather's
I
on
think
point,
a lot of Borough fans have really been looking forward to the Torquay away game, but this is the second season running now. We've had it in January, so it's not quite been what was expected. They were hoping for a nice warm bit of sun on their back and Cornish pasty
And
and
on
a
a
nice bit of
Saturday.
ice cream.
And on a
yeah.
Saturday as well.
Yeah, and a Saturday that'd be
Not
nice.
a
Yeah,
midweek
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah, so you can buy your tickets online, although you can buy them at the ground, but you have to go to the ticket office to get them if you are going to do it that way. There's no additional cost on the day. So we used to do that years ago. You had tacked on an extra £2 for on the day sales, but thankfully that's gone. So it's one of those grounds you can't have a drink inside though, unfortunately. They still operate it like it is a football league ground, and I think it's a council decision. They did trial something against Tunbridge a while ago, but that's the only time it's happened and we lost. So I don't expect they'll want to bring that in.
It's
And
this
hope,
football league. It's football league dementia, isn't it? It's terrible. You need to snap out of it. You have a word, Tom. You know what I mean?
I
Drinking on
know.
the terraces like the rugby. That's what it's all about.
Oh no, I can't get into rugby. Sorry, the rest of my family are all into rugby, but not me, not me. Whatever floats your
There's
boat,
always a
Simon.
black
Whatever
sheep in the
floats your
family
boat,
somewhere.
Simon.
There's always a black sheep in the family somewhere, Tom. You know what I
I
mean?
know, I know.
You know.
But
Is
no,
it?
honestly,
Is
look,
it?
I mean, it's a great ground. There'll be a big crowd, and we always hopefully see a lot of goals at Playmore, and
Yeah.
hopefully they'll all be for us, and we'll put you aside with relative little ease. But I'm not going in thinking it's going to be a walk in the park because I fought that against Tunbridge, and look what happened there. So
Yeah.
we know that you're going to probably sit low block, and try and hold out, and maybe get us on the counter. But if anyone is thinking, please do go, because at the end of the day, you'll be made very welcome at Playmore. It's nice to see a lot of fans in the away end. I doubt we'll see many on Tuesday night, but that's to be
Is it
expected.
segregated? Is it segregated as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we're always segregated, so you'll be in Block A of Bristow's bench, so you'll get a fantastic. Well, I say a fantastic view; it'll be dark, but you'll get a lovely view of the pitch, and it's a cracking view from Bristow's. So yeah, unfortunately they don't open the terrace. I think that's just on a decision to have less stewards or something. So you'll be in the seats, but uh,
Is there any truth in the rumor that last year there was a one mere caravan with a sold out burger stand in it? Any truth in that rumor? And will it be the same this year? Because we did have a few Farnborough fans who were a little bit put out when they got there, and there was no tea left either.
no, hard for me to say because it's not an area that I'm an expert in, unfortunately. I think they are trying to improve it. It is certainly one aspect that the owners are trying to, enhance for away supporters. I believe there will be some sort of catering for you guys. I don't know to the extent what it will be. I wouldn't expect much, is my honest answer. But
Eat before they get there.
Yeah, bring a packed lunch. Yeah, get in your fireman Sam lunchbox. Definitely, yes.
But you'll be able to get your say it boots and laces for a couple of drinks if you need it there. So it's there. It'd be warmer
Oh,
in there
absolutely.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll frequent it.
Well, the two takeaways I get from that. Hopefully there'll be more goals than goals, and possibly a warm welcome and not a warm pint. There we are.
Well, hopefully you'll beat the Hampton 19 that turned up. So if you can bring any more than 19, then you'll avoid the lowest away following we have in this league. But again, like the thing is, we're in this division where a lot of people don't travel, which is absolutely fine. I respect that. It's a long journey. It's the end of January. No one's got any money by the end of January anyway. So
No.
anyone that does come down has my credit to them. But looking at the game, if to go into a bit more detail, I mean, anything less than 3 points for us, in my mind, would be a disaster. And although many will think this is an opportunity to get 5, 6, 7, I mean, just get the 3 points. Like, if you guys can get a draw, I'm sure you guys would take that right now, wouldn't you? If you were offered a boring 0-0.
Yeah, I would, Tom. Yeah, you're right. I would. No, I appreciate the way you're thinking as well. It's 3 points or go home. Basically, there's nothing for you guys. But I think when you say we'll go with a low block and defend, I think it's not really Spencer's way to do that. He likes attacking football, so he will try hopefully he'll get the lads to believe in themselves and go for it at some points. And obviously we won't be all gun ho and try and you score 4, we'll score 5 mentality. It won't be like that, but it'll be certainly be it'll be sort of, I think it'll be more attacking than some people might expect. I mean, I remember last year's game we ended up losing 4-0, but we played quite well for the first half, and I think the first goal was important in that game. And unfortunately, you guys scored and we didn't. So it was it was a bit of a drubbing in the end, but we held our own for large parts.
Was it 4-0, Simon?
I can't, yeah, I think it was 4. I seem to remember 4. I could be wrong, but I think it was 4. I think it was 4-0.
Last season at Playmore.
Yeah,
wasn't it 2-0?
Was it 2-0?
We scored 2 early. We scored 2 early goals, and then Ricky Holmes missed a couple.
I can't find last season's. I can't. I'm trying to look now, but I can't find last season's results either. They've obviously got rid of them. Not surprising, but yeah. Anyway, we lost. So I think I got that bit right anyway. But yeah, it'll be a
Wasn't that the game? Wasn't that the game that Hadi Gandor got that horrible injury, shoulder injury?
Oh yeah, you might be right there. Yeah, it might have been. Yeah, we just got him in on loan.
I seem to remember talking to Thomas about it afterwards.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. He ran through and then fell over, and then apparently it was a bit of a dodgy tackle, apparently, but some people said it was fine. He just fell awkwardly, and that was that. So he was not another one of our injured striker disasters last season. It was it was one that if you want it was a case of if you wanted to bring your players in and get them injured and crop them for the season, send them down to Farnborough and they'll sort them out.
Any players you don't like or don't want.
Yeah. So stick them on injured reserve after they come back from Farnborough. Yeah, that was another disaster. But it was as I said to you, I'll reiterate it. It's a bit of a shame it's on a Tuesday night again, but there we are. But is what it is. Is what it is. Is there any has there been any sort of movement in the squad before the weekend? Tom, about your team. I'm assuming your squad's pretty set as it is, and probably budgetary wise, it's probably pretty unlikely you bring anybody in or anything. But has there any been? We've had quite a lot of change in our squad in the last couple of weeks, but just wondering if you've had the same.
Yeah, so we had a loan signing from Plymouth today. Joe Hatch is coming on loan for a month, funded by the Supporters Trust, which I think says, about the budget. Fantastic. I mean, our budget is, from how I understand it, is more than what we had last season. And of course, the injuries have kind of been what they've been. And I think the ownerships quite rightly are, taking it quite tight on the finances. But I mean, the players that have come back in now, again, Cody Cook has been gone for a while, but he's finally back into the side. Nash Sundar, once he's got a couple of games under his foot, then that'll be like having a brand new signing, because he came in on the summer and hasn't really played. But no, we're pretty settled other than that. Our defence is pretty similar to last year. Sam Dreyer, Jordan Dyer, Jay Folston, Dylan Morgan, he signed permanently over the summer as well. They've established themselves pretty well in the defence and the midfield. The midfield's probably been where we've recruited the most this season. But I mean, Louis Dennis, I mean, it's a shame he's going to miss out through suspension. A soft red, I thought, on Saturday. But anyway, he'll be a big loss for the next 3. But with respect, our next 3, as we record at Enfield, you guys, and then Hornchurch. So, 2 of those 3 games, if we are title contenders again, playing teams who are 22nd, 20th, and then Hornchurch towards the top. If we're not getting 6 points from the next 2, then it's probably you think that we don't quite have it for the title. But there's 20 games.
That's where the mentality
and you guys will be fighting for your life. I'm sure Spencer will set you guys up and try and maximise the situation as best you can. We seem to, more often than not, give away the first goal. So if that's the case, then if you can make it hard to break down, then you'll have a chance, absolutely. But not being arrogant again, but for Torquay United standards, we've got to be getting 6 points from the next 2. I mean, that's just an absolute given, considering that Farnborough, I think, have only won once away from home all season.
Yeah. And is that when you're saying there you want to get 6 points out of the next 3 games? I mean, obviously, ideally you're aiming for 9 points, but if you don't get what you're expecting, that kind of changes that mentality of being title contenders to then being playoff contenders. and then you're aiming to get as high as you can in the playoff spots, then, aren't you?
It's
At
a
that
pressure
point.
shift as well, isn't it, Tom? Because you
Yeah,
put the pressure's on. Then if
yeah,
you don't get the points, then you're looking at your next set of 3 fixtures. You're thinking, oh, we need to get the points here, and they're probably tougher games as well. You think, well, you know, but then having said that, the makeup of the league is like that because everybody can beat anybody. So you might think, oh, we need to get 6 out of 9 here. If we don't, we're in trouble. Then you go to the next 6, you win all 3. You know, that's just the way the
yeah,
league is.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then who would have had Worthing to lose 5-4 at Salisbury a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
Who would have
very true.
had Worthing to draw,
exactly.
go from being 2-0 down at home to Chippenham, bottom of the table Chippenham, and just about do enough to get a point? I think Hornchurch playing Western on Saturday, so that both teams aren't going to get maximum points from there. So this is an opportunity for
Yeah,
us to get closer to the top. I mean, nothing will be decided today. Oh, sorry, this week and going into next week. But if you've just got to find consistency and be hard to beat, and the team that does that regularly from now to the end of the season is going to win the division. But again, I think Ebbsfleet have got games in hand on us. I think they've got 2 in hand on us. Uh, I think Western and Hornchurch have still got a game in hand above us to play. So there's plenty of permutations to come. And like I said, and Paul Watton has said this in his briefs the last couple of weeks, it's all about just focusing on Torquay United Football Club. And I think that's certainly the right way to do it. You can worry about other teams, but if Torquay United can't get the job done, then there's no point really worrying about what anyone else does. So we've just got to make sure we're putting the pressure on and stamping our authority.
Yep.
yeah. No, absolutely. But so just before we sign off, I've got 2 final things to ask you. The first one is, do you and your Talkie Talks pals, do you still believe in Paul and the job that he's doing to get not just to win the championship, but to get you promotion? And with Tuesday night coming, what's your predictions? I'll get predictions out of you and Simon for that. But yeah, so what do you reckon?
We are fully behind Paul Watton. When you've had years of Gary Johnson, who passed his prime, in my
Yeah,
opinion, I see that he's gone to Taunton now and hasn't particularly started well there. But I'll keep my mouth shut on that. What I really think. Um, Paul Watton, he a lot of the time in his post-match interviews, I agree with exactly how he sees the game and what he feels, and he's a passionate bloke. After Dorking, I don't know if I mentioned this on the last podcast, but we actually bumped into each other walking up the hill towards the coach, and he had no right. He could have easily just ignored me and walked on, but he engaged with me, and we had quite an in-depth conversation about how the game went, and in future games, he's admitted that he set us up wrongly at Dorking, and he absolutely did, 100%. But you can't complain when we're scoring the goals that we are scoring. Just be the second highest goal scorers. Yeah, the football isn't lovely to watch at times. I feel like we're a little bit too patient in our build-up play. But at the end of the day, he got us within 2 goals of winning the title in his first year at a football
yeah,
club that quite right, rightly was almost like a brand new football club in respect. So absolutely, I think he's the man that's going to get us out of this division. Is he the man to get us into the Football League? That's another conversation to have when we do get back into the National League, because you can only focus on the here and now. And he knows what the remit is, and he's passionate as ever. And I've got no problem with Paul Watton. Not all the fans believe that he's the right man for the job, but we're in a title race. We're still in a title race, and as we asked him a couple of weeks, I think Clive asked him a couple of weeks in the press at our Torquay United in the title race. I mean, how he didn't not Clive out in the moment. His face just painted the answer to that. But a trillion million percent he believes we're in a title race, and I believe we are as well. And score prediction, I've said 3-0 on goals I view, and I'll stick with that. But if we can get a couple more, then that would be very, very, very good.
Well, I was very
I mean,
disappointed
what's
to hear
your
that
score?
3-0 scoreline, but very disappointed, Tom. Run over you on again.
What is it?
Um,
You're looking to attend the game, Simon. What are you firstly? What are you expecting? But and then
Rain,
what's your score prediction
other than rain and cold and a
other than
long
rain? Yeah.
and a long walk by the sounds of it. Is that, yeah, it'd be all right on the way back to the station. I'll be fine. I'll just roll down the hill. Similar,
Bear in mind, keep it brief.
very brief. I would say a surprise 2-1 Farnborough victory. Let's go with that. There we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy.
And the new goalkeeper is apparently he's got 4 arms, so we've got no way we're going to let him give too many goals in. So yeah,
Normally how it goes, Simon, to be fair, a lot of teams have played their second choice keeper against us and they've played absolute worldies. So
yeah, that's what it's all
Well,
about.
this is the third keeper we've had in a week. So
Yeah, it's all a ploy to bring to get Jack in and make him more hungry. That's what it is. So yeah.
well, look, Thomas, we'll just go end it there. Thanks for coming on tonight and chatting again about. I think you probably are our most um visited guest. I think isn't he, Simon?
Visited. I'm not sure that's the correct term.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Most interviewed person from another club. So we say.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm the most interviewed person from Farnborough on this podcast. Obviously, but you're second, Tom. Yeah,
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. It's
You can have,
it's a bit like
the
me.
win
Yeah.
on this one, Simon, as long as we get the win on Tuesday.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll take anything at the moment, mate. Yeah, personally and in football. But yeah, it's yeah. You might be second best, but you're number one for us, Tom. There you go, mate.
Oh, thanks, guys. Anytime, and yeah, good luck on continuing to get your subscriber numbers up, and I'm sure
thank
you'll
you.
get there. It's
Yeah,
a slow,
it's
it's a slow process, but I'm sure you'll get there.
Yeah, very very slow in our
We'll
case.
race
A bit like Alan's mind, extremely slow. But yeah, no, it's always a good pleasure having you on because you talk a lot of sense and you know your stuff, and it's good to have it. And it's not just knowing your information. It's also the fact that you have a bit of passion with it as well. So and I do sincerely hope that Torquay do one day in the next sort of 10 to 12 years get back in the football league. So.
I think Thomas is hoping it happens a bit sooner than that.
But, well, 10 months I think would be quite
I'm
nice.
not prepared for another season in the National League South next season, Simon, let alone in the next 5 to 10 years.
Tell what, I would take that now, to be honest. If we're still in the National South League next season, I think I'd take that. And if so, if we
Are you guys staying up? Yes or no?
Oh, good question.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Hey,
that is a tough one.
What I'll say, I think we should end the podcast there because we ask the questions on this podcast, not the way around.
Well,
Yeah,
Simon's done his prediction score, so I think it's only right that I do this one. And I'm actually going to say yeah. I think we will. It'll be by the skin of our teeth, but I think we will.
I agree actually as well. I do think we'll stay up. I think we'll be looking at the league table. I said a few months back the way we were going. I'd take 20th, which is exactly where we are now. If someone gave me 20th, I'd take it. But I'm looking at the fixtures and I've had a look through them the rest of the season, and I think if we've got more 9 home games now, and I think we need to win 6 to stay in because our away form's so bad. But if we can start picking up points, especially on starting tomorrow against Eastbourne and then Tuesday against Torquay, then it gives us every chance. But we do need to win.
That game at Hampton on the 3rd of April could be very, very definitive.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping we're not already relegated by then, Thomas, to be fair. But,
well, you're in a mini league, aren't you, with 6 at the moment, aren't you, really? So if you can beat those around you, then you'll stay up, won't you?
Yeah.
So
and also on a personal note, our last game of the season is against Tottenham. So if we need to win to stay in the league, I won't actually be there because I've been invited to a wedding that day, so I'm going to be a bit gutted. It could be lovely in some aspects watching someone get married, and then torturous in others, like crying in the reception room on my side. So I've just been
I think you need
relegated.
to find a new friend group if they're organising weddings in the football season.
Yeah, do you know what? It is 2 ladies, to be fair, so it's not really their fault, you know. But I did expect better of her, to be honest with you. But yeah, I will have to write that in the invite. I've had to during our long 25-year association.
Can you imagine his reply when he replies to his RSVP? Do you know what I'm missing for this?
What have you done? You clearly didn't think about anybody else when you made this date, did you? You're a disgrace, and you're out of my life forever after today.
Brilliant stuff! Right, Thomas, don't go anywhere. We'll have a little chat when we come off. But thanks for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you again. Simon, say good night.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I reiterate what I said earlier. Thanks very much, Thomas, for coming on again. Always good to talk. And like I said, I'll use another analogy that I used earlier. Hopefully, more goals than goals on Tuesday. But let's hope for a result for the Borough. But yeah, my more positive.
It's probably a good tagline for the episode, Simon. So you've inadvertently and the title.
I do tend to come up with all the good ones, to be fair, but you tend to ignore me these days and just write your own ones. They're really boring. Like, grey is beautiful, or I like.
And that's it. So for now, so thanks to everybody for liking, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks to everybody for watching us on YouTube, and we will be back in very soon with another episode. See you all soon.